feel is this pain in my heart and these muddy water blues. Paul Rogers, frontman of Free and Bad Company, and that's a song off his solo album, which he plays on nylon. So I have a nylon string guitar here today, which I want to talk to you about because I'm so enthusiastic about this instrument. Just in recent times, I've gone back to nylon, and what I did is I restrung one of my Lakewood steel string guitars with nylon. It sort of works. You have to do a bit of improvisation. Loved the tone sufficiently to consider getting a Lakewood nylon string guitar. And so I have this one. It's actually a Khaya guitar. That's a brand which Lakewood have discontinued, but they are making nylon string guitars all under the Lakewood banner now. And that does make sense, rather than to have another brand. Although I have to tell you, living in Africa as I do, the name Khaya is very beautiful because it's an African word for home. So, well, it's a little bit like coming home. I did start out my guitar life on a nylon string, an old Hofner, and now I'm back to nylon and I'm playing it a lot. So let me talk to you about this guitar, and I think it is relevant to the Lakewood nylons that they are making now, because a lot of what I am finding here, I'm sure, will be repeated in the new range of Lakewood nylon string guitars. So this particular model has a spruce top, mahogany back and sides. It's my only mahogany guitar. All my others are either rosewood, and I have one walnut guitar. That one works particularly well. But I must tell you that I find mahogany very impressive. The reason is firstly because it's light, so it's a lighter wood than rosewood. And I know it ranks as perhaps the junior of the tone woods. People tend to go for rosewood and maybe even ziricote. These are harder woods, and they render a tone that is perhaps richer. But I love the clarity of this particular guitar. So this one, very lively. The guitar actually is new, but it's been at Lakewood for a number of years before I finally took it. So it's had a long time to settle down, which I do think makes a difference. All I can tell you is that the tone of this guitar is stunning. So, great tone, very articulate. So each note rings clear and separate. That's very special. So the notes don't mix with each other, don't obstruct each other. That's the best way to put it, perhaps. Don't obstruct each other. Each note has its own life. Very articulate guitar, good projection, pretty loud. So tone-wise, I love it. I absolutely love it. As far as the playability goes, well, I'm a fan. Look, a classical guitar has a wide neck. This is a 52mm nut. So when you're a steel string player, as I am primarily, then one is more used to 44, 46 maybe. And then to go to 52 mils, you would think it would be a big stretch. Well, it is, but it's not hard. So this neck is very playable, and I ascribe that to the fact that it's not a chunky neck. So it's wide, it's got shoulders, but it is flat. So where your thumb plays, the neck is very manageable. I did a fair bit of work on the action here. So the saddle, the guitar is issued with a pretty high action, and the reason for that is not sloppiness. It's because the guitar is intended to be set up for the preferences of the owner. So perhaps guitars are purchased and then people play them without necessarily having them set up. I set up all my own guitars, so I took this saddle down quite a bit, probably a whole millimeter. And I did it kind of micron by micron, so it's a bit of a job because you've got to loosen the strings, slide the saddle out, file it down. And while I was filing it down, I also paid some attention to intonation. So checking out the harmonics with the 12th fret, that note should be the same. And if it isn't, you can make a certain amount of adjustment by filing the top of that saddle accordingly. So perhaps not something that you want to try without having practiced it. I've done it for years, and I quite enjoy doing it, actually. And frankly, I think there are a couple of microns left here to go before it is finally to my satisfaction. It's pretty low now, so it's not that much higher than perhaps my steel strings are, but there's no rattle. So, as I said, I think there might be a micron or two to go there. So this particular Khaya guitar is, as all Lakewoods are, immaculately crafted. If you look inside, the braces are beautifully shaped, beautifully smoothed. There's no sloppiness, even though most people wouldn't bother to look inside the guitar. But for those, like myself, who do look inside, it's a joy. There's not a bubble of glue visible anywhere. It's an accurately made instrument. And as a result, you can be sure that the intonation is accurate. The guitar works perfectly. It's a masterpiece, frankly. Look, Germany has a tradition of classical guitars. Martin Seliger from Lakewood, the founder of Lakewood, cut his teeth, I believe, in the building of classical guitars. He's a properly, fully qualified classical guitar luthier, and he started out as such, and it shows. So I love the fact that I have a classical guitar built in Martin Seliger's luthery. There are numerous absolutely outstanding top-end classical guitars manufactured in Germany, and they might be anything up to 10 times the price of this one. So this is, well, I find it a fairly affordable guitar, given the fact that it's solid wood, solid spruce, solid mahogany. It is meticulously crafted. There are CNC machines in the Lakewood luthery, which means that the work that has to be absolutely accurately done can be reliably accurately done in the Lakewood luthery. But equally, it is also not a production, it's not a factory-built instrument. There is attention to detail. Hands have worked on these instruments, and it shows. So for the price, which is not naught, but for the price, given the fact that, as I said, you can pay up to 10 times the amount of this guitar for a high-end German classical guitar, I consider this to be very good value for money. The tuners are Schaller. They work well. They're absolutely fine. The headstock is very beautiful. Again, all meticulously crafted. The fretboard is ebony. Yes, I can see that. The saddle here is mahogany, as are the back and sides, and as is the neck. I love the edge trim on this guitar, which is also mahogany. In fact, apologies, this is rosewood, and I think the rosewood transfer over from mahogany to spruce is beautiful. It's very simple. There's no jewelry on this guitar. It's a beautifully crafted instrument in every way. So I love it. So check out the Lakewood nylon range on the Lakewood website and enjoy.